Hi, this is Robert from Part Fusion Electronics, and this week I've been experimenting with an overhead filming setup. My main focus of this video is the lighting. I'm using a microphone stand to hold the camera, and I'm using kind of standard desk lamps to do the lighting. I have LED lamps, and one of the issues I have with these lamps is that they generate a lot of shadowing, which you can see as I move my hand. Now I have two of the lamps, so I can turn on the other one, and that improves some of the shadowing. I've got some ideas for greatly improving that in a future setup. One other issue I have to think about is the lighting level. This lighting setup between these two lamps is generating about 420 lumens of light output. These lamps are nice because they actually have 3 levels of lighting, so I can increase the lighting level now. This next level is 700 lumens, and that helps a bit with the shadow. And if I put them up to full brightness, this is 1000 lumens, and again it helps with the shadowing. What I want for my filming setup and for my working setup on this table is probably about 1000 lux, which is this lighting level is about 1000 lux lumens over a given area. Another thing to think about for filming and for working is the light color. So these lamps have a color temperature of about 4000 degrees Kelvin, and the camera is white balanced to this lighting level, which is a bit on the it's a kind of a non-natural. It's like it's a moonlight color, based on my understanding of the temperature ranges. You don't see the difference because I've white balanced it. But if I take a different type of LED like this one, and I connect it up to a small battery here, you can see that this light is noticeably bluer. I think this is probably closer to 7000 degrees Kelvin, the light color. So that's one of my ideas, is to actually make my own lighting rather than using these kind of off-the-shelf lighting options. As I'm a maker and I like to do things with lights, I actually have lots of lights lying around in the background here. So using batteries isn't enough. I'm going to need to use another type of power supply. Most people would understand that if you have I have a 9-volt battery here, you normally have a resistor in series, which are LEDs, and as the voltage level changes, you can see that the lights get brighter as I go through the sequence. That's a kind of crude way, or very simple, and it can be quite a crude way of controlling your lights. What I've been using for some of my projects more recently is a small little chip from on Semiconductor. Let's see it here. It's a little black chip, and it's a constant current regulator. So when you connect up an LED in series with this little chip, it controls the amount of current coming through the LED. So you don't actually have to worry about the voltage level. If the voltage level changes or fluctuates, you still get a constant current source, or a constant current flowing to the LED. So this chip is an NSI 45020. So this is a 20 milliamp version. So this is outputting the perfect amount of current for this LED to get the the best light level. So what I've tried doing is I've tried ganging up some of these LEDs to make it kind of a spotlight. So here I have 6 strings of 4 LEDs. And if I connect that up, I get a kind of a spotlight, but it's very directional, which isn't ideal for kind of a desk setup. What I want is more of a kind of a spread of light across the table. So one other type of LED I have in the background is surface mount LEDs, white surface mount LEDs, like these. This is a 50-50 surface mount LED. And what I also have in the background is I have ready-made breadboards that I used for a previous project, or not breadboards, printed circuit boards. And so what I've done is I've created up another version of the same of this, which actually has 3 of the constant current regulators in series or in parallel. Because each of these LEDs that I'm using has actually 3 discrete LEDs in it, almost like an RGB LED. And I've mounted those onto the circuit board there. And so this is just a jump with the wires across. So if I power those and connect like so, so what you'll notice about this LED here is that this is actually a different color. It has a different color temperature. This is about a 3200 Kelvin LED versus the 4000 of the lights. And you can actually notice that it's a lot kind of redder in color. The camera is calibrated for the 4000, so anything below 4000 will be redder and anything above 4000 will be bluer. What I also have is I actually have I have 3 different color temperature white LEDs. So this is the 5500 to 6000 color temperature. And so that is whiter. And then I have a 6500 to 7500 or 7000 color LED. It's hard to see the difference between this this 550 to 650K colors. They're quite close together. If I put a little bit of paper over them, they might be a little bit clearer to see. Let's remove this. Not really. And if I turn off the background lights though, it's a little bit clearer. So there's not a huge difference between these LEDs. What I have done is I've actually made more versions of these circuit boards. And so I've made a second version of those which has 3 of the LEDs, full 3 of the LEDs configured. And so what's nice about these type of LEDs, this has a much wider angle of spread of lighting. So you can see here that the coloring I think is a little bit easier to to make out. So this is the redder below 4000, 3200K. This is the 5500 to 6000, and this is the 6500 to 7000. And if I take these, kind of shine them down on the table, they give a much kind of more a better kind of color spread than this version, which is very directional. So if I turn off the back end lights, you kind of see that even with just these kind of 9 LEDs, I'm getting a somewhat similar spread of lighting, and you can see the color. So there's the 3200, and it's quite a lot noticeable red, orange color that it's throwing. This is the 55K, and it's quite a bluer. And this is the 65K, and it's a lot bluer. What's interesting about these other lights is that I can use them. The reason for wanting to use lights of these levels, the 55 and the 65K colors, is that these are closer to kind of daylight colors. So the common color categories are like a 27K is like a soft white light that you might get for lighting your living room. This 32K is kind of a tungsten color, tungsten lighting. 4000K that I have from my lamps here is a kind of moonlight. 56K is kind of a daylight color, kind of vertical daylight noon type of lighting. And a 65K is kind of like an overcast daylight temperature color. Now, as I said, I kind of like to make my own LEDs. So what I have is I actually have a full reel of 1000 of each of these. So I'm probably going to make my own kind of strip lighting that I can mount on a shelf or a bracket above the camera. As I say, this one is I basically have 1000 of the 32K, and I have 1000 of the 55 to 6000K. So I'll probably look to use the daylight, the one closer to the daylight color, which would be the 55K. And then I have lots of these mounting boards. I will just need to figure out a way of attaching my surface mount chip in some way to these mounting holes and some power rail. I'll report back when I've made more progress. Thank you.